Ball comes down. Angel Reese is about to get a board.
And here comes the player behind her. She's got her left hand right here on a braid of Angel Reese. Her reaction to her hair being pulled. And Angel Reese throws her hand out. So Nelson Ododa is separating them. She's not pushing Angel Reese. And Angel Reese is acting like she's so big and tough.
That is a fight. Her hair was pulled and she unloaded on a player once again.
Angel Reese's WNBA career summed up in one game.
Angel Reese, to me, did all of this just to have relevance.
This type of action does not need to be in the WNBA.
Angel Reese just dropped a triple-double.
We got a triple-double out of Angel Reese.
But all anyone's talking about is the chaos that followed. A brutal hair pull, a near brawl with the entire Sun team, and a reaction that's gone viral.
I don't blame Angel Reese for being mad because Bree Hartley pulls Angel Reese's hair, and she's going to pull Angel Reese's hair. Oh, here we go again. All right. And you see Angel Reese pushed Olivia Nelson. Wasn't her play. It was her actions.
But was Angel really out of line? Or are the refs and media just ignoring the real problem?
Why are the WNBA not doing something about this? Like, why? How did the referees come to the conclusion that this is a common foul?
If you support Caitlyn Clark 100%, drop it in the comments. And let's break this down.
Caitlyn Clark is the system.
Caitlyn Clark is
generational talent we've needed.
She is the system.
She's fourth in the league in MVP voting.
Caitlyn Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever.
She's pulling in crazy viewership numbers.
It all started in the third quarter of a heated matchup between the Chicago Sky and Connecticut Sun. Angel Reese was already on the verge of making history, just a couple of assists away from her first ever WNBA triple-double.
We got a triple-double out of Angel Reese, and she acts a damn fool and overshadows the triple-double.
But things took a sharp turn when Bria Hartley, while jostling for position under the basket, reached out and yanked Angel Reese's braid. And this wasn't some accidental brush. It was a full-handed pull, captured clearly on the replay. The reaction was immediate. Angel spun around, furious, and shoved Olivia Nelson Ododa, who had stepped in, ironically, to play peacemaker.
She got angry when Olivia Nelson Ododa ran in, not to be aggressive. She ran in to separate the two. Now watch her just walk in to separate, and she has to lose her mind.
The court erupted. Referees rushed in. Teammates surrounded the scene. And just like that, Angel's shining moment was buried beneath another wave of controversy. What's shocking is that the refs reviewed the play and called it a common foul, no flagrant.
The refs got it wrong. It should have been a flagrant foul.
Referees do not care about the safety of their players.
No tech on Hartley. Nothing for what clearly looked like targeted physical contact. In a league that constantly preaches about player safety, this call, or lack of it, sent a loud message. Players and analysts alike couldn't believe it. One commentator even said pulling hair should be treated like contact to the head, an automatic flagrant.
Look at this. What in the world was she thinking? And then it's like, okay, you're in the moment of, trying to get a rebound. It's a lot going on, whatever the case may be. I don't want to hear it, man. Nothing crosses somebody's mind to pull some hair. That is dirty, man.
Angel Reese's reaction wasn't just about a hair pull. It was about disrespect, disregard, and the clear message that you're on your own out there. And while the referees turned a blind eye, Reese's emotions took over.
I get it, you don't want the league to look this way, but fam, you have to call this a spade, man. Call it out. Call it out, man. This is not right. This is not right. All right? You have to protect these players.
She pushed back, shouted, and pointed in faces. She was clearly furious. But here's the question, can you blame her? This wasn't just about frustration. It was about fairness, about feeling like you have to defend yourself because no one else will. Still, her reaction gave critics just the ammo they needed to overshadow everything else she did that night.
Okay, so I want to take a look at the hair pull situation.
All the while, she was still delivering on the court, rebounding, facilitating, getting her teammates involved, and showing real growth as a player. But in typical Angel Reese fashion, The headlines the next morning weren't about the triple-double. They were about the fight, because that's what always happens with her. And like clockwork, just one day after Caitlyn Clark returned and took over the spotlight, Angel found herself in another firestorm.
And I kind of been a passer all my career. I came out of high school as the #1 wing and trying to get back to that, trying to get back to being super versatile. And Tyler made that emphasis early on in the season. And I didn't understand it. And I really was kind of confused and trying to figure it out. And I'm still figuring it out. But I had patience. Obviously, tonight it came out big. I think bigs have the best passes. So I'm just super excited. And then to add it with a win just feels really good.
The second half of this controversy isn't just about what happened on the court. It's about the why. Because if you look closer, this wasn't just an emotional overreaction from Angel Reese. This was a player who has been walking a tightrope all season long, under a microscope, while constantly being pushed to the edge. And this game, it was the breaking point. Let's start with the facts. Angel Reese finished the game with 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists, a legitimate triple-double, and one of her most complete performances to date.
Angel Reese's double-double, 2 of 7, 28.6%. 7 of those points were from the free throw line. 13 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 blocks, and 11 points. Yeah, it technically is a triple-double.
She was active on defense, aggressive on the boards, and dishing out dimes like a true playmaker. Even her critics had to admit, statistically, this was growth. But somehow that got completely buried the moment she reacted to Bria Hartley's cheap shot. And that's where the problem lies. Angel didn't just snap out of nowhere. This wasn't just a random meltdown. The hair pull was real, intentional, and the league did nothing. The refs reviewed the footage and still called it a common foul. Even the announcers were confused. One literally said, "That's a flagrant," after watching the replay. And yet nothing. No protection, no accountability. Just another message that said, deal with it yourself.
I do. Obviously, the little scuffle that we had, obviously, she had to stick up for her teammate. But she was like, I got to do that. Like, I got to stick up for my team. And I was like, that shit not personal. Like, I love a vet like you. I love a player like you. Obviously, I respect your game. You've done a lot of great things for this game. And obviously, I love guarding her because I can see a lot of the things that I can add to my game. She has that pro, and being able to get to the cup and get that right hook. So it's great having a vet that really wants to talk to you and make sure you want to get better because obviously when she leaves this game, she wants to leave it in the right way.
So Angel did. She pushed Olivia Nelson-Ododa, who was stepping in to de-escalate, and then clashed with veteran Tina Charles, who many expected would calm things down, not fan the flames. But instead of keeping the peace, Tina got in Angel's face, and the two exchanged words that earned them both technical fouls. Charles is in her 16th season. She knows better. And instead of guiding the moment toward resolution, she got caught up in it too. But only Angel walked away from that exchange with her entire game discredited. And let's not ignore the pressure that was boiling beneath the surface. This wasn't just any game. This came one day after Caitlyn Clark made her return and reclaimed the national spotlight with a dominant performance. Once again, Caitlyn was celebrated. And once again, Angel Reese, who has been desperately trying to stay relevant, often by force.
Camila Cardoso could have flatlined your ass. She didn't. So it's like, you get that you're all mad. I get it. You don't like it. You shouldn't. But you've done that to other people. And they didn't react that way to you. And that makes you a hypocrite in my book. Because you've done this act.
Found herself on the defensive. Every move she makes gets magnified.
All right, so she turned around. Then you see Nelson gets in between. Angel not hearing it, fam. Look at the shove. Oh, get off me. Get off of me. And she's pissed. She don't want to hear anything.
Every game becomes a referendum on whether she belongs at the top. And the second she reacts emotionally, the internet explodes. She's out of control, immature, toxic. But what no one talks about is what Angel said after the game. She faced reporters and didn't dodge the moment. She spoke about learning, about trying to be more versatile, about finding ways to stay engaged even when her shot wasn't falling. She said she wants to be unstoppable.
Yeah, I just want to be unstoppable. I want to be to a point where it's hard to guard because they have to guard the pass, they have to guard the shot, obviously. didn't knock my shots down, and I felt really good during warm-ups. But obviously, I didn't knock down tonight, but I didn't let that get down. I think some of the best players in the world, like if their shot is not falling, they try to find other ways to get the team together and stay involved. So I tried to find that on the defensive end, guarding Tina. She's obviously a great player, and then being able to rebound and pass.
That she's trying to be the kind of player who can do it all: defend, rebound, pass, score. She even shared how her growth came from learning patience, trusting the process, and leaning on faith during tough moments. These aren't the words of someone spiraling. They're the words of someone trying to evolve under intense pressure and scrutiny. What's frustrating is how quick the media and fans are to forget the basketball. They ignore how she set the tone on defense, how she moved the ball, how she trusted her teammates. They ignore the leadership she showed on the court, rallying her squad, making smart decisions, keeping them in control when it mattered most. All of that is erased because of a heated reaction to a foul that should have never been ignored.
It should have been a flagrant foul. I understand her being furious over her hair being pulled. Absolutely. Be mad about that.
And let's not pretend this kind of treatment is rare. Angel isn't just playing against other teams. She's battling media bias, inconsistent officiating, and a public that expects her to fail. Every time she shows emotion, it's villainized. Every time she speaks her mind, it's weaponized. Meanwhile, others in the league are praised for the same passion and fire. So was Angel Reese out of line? Maybe. But was it unjustified? Absolutely not. The league failed her by not protecting her. The refs failed her by letting it slide. And the media failed her, again, by making the entire narrative about a reaction instead of a performance. This wasn't just about hair being pulled. It was about a player who's tired of being provoked, tired of being dismissed, and tired of being expected to smile through it all. And if you're wondering why she snapped, maybe the better question is, how has she kept it together this long?
Obviously, that's another great player that just never complains. She's the biggest cheerleader on the bench. She always comes in with so much energy, and you always need a player like that. Like, Michaela's our glue. Like, she always comes in, she plays hard in practice, every drill, every opportunity. She always comes in and maximizes it. Even if she doesn't have a great game scoring, she always comes in and defends. She comes in, she never complains. She's just a great teammate, and that's somebody you always want to have. Like, she's like our sixth man, the sixth man that comes in and just always is there for us. And I really love that from Michaela because obviously, no, she was Rookie of the Year. She came in and great, and obviously things have just been up and down for her, but she's never put her head down. She's always put her head down and worked and just maximized everything. So I'm super proud of her.
At the heart of this entire controversy isn't just a flagrant foul or a heated reaction. It's about how different players are treated under the spotlight, especially when one is Angel Reese and the other is Caitlyn Clark. Because what we saw in this game was more than a physical altercation. It was the perfect example of how the media, the WNBA, and even the fans choose who gets grace and who gets dragged. And time again, Angel Reese ends up on the losing side of that narrative. Let's be honest, had Caitlyn Clark been the one who got her hair pulled on national television, there would have been immediate outrage.
The amount of crap that she gets on a day-to-day and she still shows up. Just a 23-year-old kid who handles herself with grace. Her crown is heavy. So whatever else, like, y'all want to come at her for the way that she acts, she has to build the wall. She has to have the wall. Because if she doesn't, people will break her down. Not only just because of the way she looks, but it's because of the way she carries herself. She doesn't just walk around and act like, oh, I'm this. No, she knows who she is. And we ain't going to break her down for that. So whatever other questions y'all got, like, I'm hoping it's just about basketball. Maybe a box score question. But the kid's crown is heavy. Like, respect that.
The problem here with trying to cast Angel Reese in the role of the ultimate victim, she's not a sympathetic victim. You're not generating sympathy, you're generating more skepticism.
Articles would have flooded in about protecting star players, and commentators would have demanded league action. Think back to when Caitlyn got knocked down in previous games. There were full segments on ESPN, hours of panel debates, and pressure on the league to respond. But when Angel Reese takes a similar hit, a literal hair yank from Bria Hartley, it's brushed off as a common foul, and the focus instantly shifts to how she reacted. It's selective outrage, and it's exhausting to watch. This is where the league's bias becomes crystal clear. In the same game, Angel Reese not only led her team to a win, but recorded a historic triple-double.
In this game, y'all, Angel Reese dropped a triple-double.
11 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists. She showed versatility, patience, and leadership on the court. She trusted her teammates, made high IQ passes, and defended hard in a tough matchup. But do you think any of that made headlines? The only thing trending was Angel Reese fight. The only clips circulating were her pointing, shouting, and pushing back. No context, no replays of the foul, no acknowledgement of the disrespect that triggered her. Just the perfect image to reinforce the stereotype that she's uncontrollable or problematic. Meanwhile, Hailey Van Lith had a phenomenal game. 16 points on 75% shooting.
Hailey Van Lith is the star of this show. 6 of 8, 75%, and 16 points.
And was heavily credited for being the reason Chicago even stayed in it. And sure, she played a great game, but it was Angel who was running the floor, making plays, and anchoring the team in crunch moments. Yet when you look at post-game coverage, Van Lith got praise for her efficiency, while Angel was reduced to a cautionary tale. This kind of framing doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens because media outlets know what drives clicks, and conflict sells better than growth. The emotional double standard is impossible to ignore. Caitlyn Clark gets labeled as fiery or competitive when she argues a call.
WNBA rumors suggest Caitlyn Clark will be among the first stars making $1 million annually. The most notable of which is, y'all already know who, the needle mover, Caitlyn Clark.
So in 2024, she averaged 16.5 points per game, 4 assists, 5.5 rebounds. She shot 37% from the field and 31.8% from 3. Now, if you look at her preseason in 2025, she only played 2 games in this preseason, and one was against that Brazilian national team. She played 21 minutes. She averaged 14.5 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. She shot 52.5% from the field and 50% from 3-point range.
Angel Reese, she's hostile and needs to grow up. Caitlyn is called a spark for the league, while Angel is framed as a distraction from the game.
You had some credibility, but then you want to go after Nelson Ododa for no reason. You can have your little words, you can do all that, and you are entitled to do all of that.
But let's get one thing straight. Angel Reese is a spark. She brings fire, passion, and yes, emotion. She talks trash, stands up for herself, and plays with edge. That doesn't make her a problem. It makes her a competitor. And the fact that people are more offended by her reaction than the actual foul that caused it says everything about what's really going on here. And it's not just media framing, it's fan perception too.
The Angel Reese fan base to understand that. She's not innocent, if you will. She's not innocent. Versus where Caitlyn Clark, what has she done or said? She hasn't lied on anybody. She hasn't, threw any shade towards anybody fan base. Angel Reese, she hasn't done any of that.
On social media, fans who had never even watched a full Sky game suddenly had hot takes. Some said Angel should have walked away or that she always makes it about herself. But let's flip that narrative. Why should she walk away when the league won't protect her? Why should she smile and shrug off a literal assault on the court? And why is her frustration seen as selfish instead of human?
Angel Reese right here. You see her? She's being guarded by Camila Cardoso right here. This is in the SEC. I believe it's the SEC championship. Her senior year. And watch. Box out. Look what happened. Ball goes in. The ball's in the basket. This isn't even fighting for a rebound. This is, I'm just going to grab your fucking hair. And look at Cardoso. She does nothing. Look at that. Look at that. Look at Angel Reese just grab her hair for no reason. Not to get a rebound, just to grab her hair. No reason other than that. Look at what is she grabbing it for? Grabbed it.
Let's be real. Angel Reese is in a no-win situation. If she plays well but shows emotion, she's immature. If she stays quiet and plays poorly, she's irrelevant. And when she actually dominates, recording a triple-double, leading her team to a win and standing up for herself in the face of a dirty play, she's still the villain. It's a setup. And the sad part is the league benefits from it because Angel's presence draws clicks, sparks debate, and keeps the WNBA in the headlines, even if it's for the wrong reasons. But here's what the critics don't understand. Angel isn't backing down. She knows the pressure is different for her. She knows that Caitlyn Clark is the league's media darling.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlyn?
She's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
And yet she still shows up every night, pushing her game forward, showing flashes of growth, and staying real, even when it would be easier to fake a smile and stay quiet. She takes the heat, answers the tough questions, and keeps grinding. So yes, she got emotional. She reacted. But that reaction wasn't weakness. It was the raw frustration of a player who's been ignored, disrespected, and written off for far too long. And if the WNBA can't see that, if the media can't report it fairly, and if fans can't recognize the double standard, then maybe the problem isn't Angel Reese. Maybe the problem is how uncomfortable people get when a confident Black woman demands to be seen as more than a headline. Because let's be clear, Angel didn't just fight with the sun, she fought against a system that only celebrates her when she stays quiet and attacks her the moment she dares to push back. And that's the real story they don't want to tell.
Yeah, obviously there's no place in this league for that. I think the WNBA, our team and our organization has done a great job supporting me. I've had communication from everyone, from so many people across this league, and being able to support me and going through this whole process. Obviously, it could happen to me, it could happen to anyone, and I think they've done a great job supporting us in this.
What do you think the league's response, just coming out right away and getting that investigation going?
Yeah, obviously, like I said, they understand that this is the priority. Obviously, there's no place for this, and they preach. I think 2 days before they put out no hate, no speech. And obviously, the women in this league, they know that and know there's no space for that. And I believe that every player in this league deserves to be treated with respect and want to come to work and just have fun and have a great environment to work at. So I think they've done a great job putting that out, and we're obviously just going to respond as they need to.
Angel Reese may have lost her temper, but she didn't lose the game, and she sure didn't lose her fire. While the media focuses on her emotions and the league stays silent about the foul, the truth is simple. Angel is showing up, evolving, and fighting for respect in a system that's quick to criticize, but slow to protect. She's not perfect, but she's real. And whether the spotlight wants her or not, she keeps making sure they can't ignore her. Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark continues to carry herself with grace and dominance.
Caitlyn Clark effect seems to be crazier than year one.
She's my role model. I really look up to her.
Why do you like Caitlyn?
She's so good at basketball.
Because she's that awesome person and she has like a lot of aura, so like.
Setting the bar higher every game. If you stand with Caitlyn and want the league to be better, not just louder, drop a 100% in the comments. We'll be watching.